President Mnangagwa today reassigned 3 ministers, 1 deputy minister, and appointed 2 new deputy ministers in a mini cabinet reshuffle. The reassignments and appointments were made in terms of subsections 1 and 2 of Section 104 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe. The reshuffle saw Winston Chitando taking over as Minister of Mines and Mining Development, a portfolio he served in the previous cabinet. He is moving from local government. Daniel Gare is now the Minister of Local Government and Public Works, moving from National Housing and Social Amenities. Jemu Soda is now the Minister of National Housing and Social Amenities, moving from Mines and Mining Development. Senator Musa Ncube has been appointed the Deputy Minister of National Housing and Social Amenities, while Senator Hedman Moyo has been appointed Deputy Minister of Veterans of Liberation Struggle Affairs. Yokai Simbane Gavi has been reassigned to be the Deputy Minister of Energy and Power Development. The reassignments and appointments, which are with immediate effect, were announced by Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Dr. Martin Rushwaya, in a statement. Our Bulawayo correspondent Andile Chuma attended the business conference. Good evening, Andile. What were some of the pertinent issues discussed at the conference, and how was day 2 of the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair?
Well, thank you and good evening. We are still at the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair. This is day 2 of the International Trade Showcase. We're just wrapping up our day and almost ready to also pack up and go for the day. It's been a very interesting day. One of the key highlights for today's engagements was the International Business Expo, where the Vice President of Zimbabwe, CG Chiwenga, was the guest of honor, and it was quite an interesting engagement. It was also graced by the Finance Minister, Professor Mthuli Ncube, as well as the Higher and Tertiary Education Minister, Professor Amon Murira, as well as the Industry Minister, Mangaliso Ndlovu, as well as other government officials. Also present was the Deputy Governor, Dr. Maje, amongst other top officials who were also there. Industrialist and ZITF Board Chairperson Busisa Moyo was also present at this very prestigious meeting. So generally, the International Business Conference was a call to action for various stakeholders to meet their obligations and play their different roles that are equally important to ensure that Zimbabwe becomes an upper middle income economy by 2030.
A call has been made for the revival of rural economies in Zimbabwe to improve livelihoods around the country. This was revealed by Nikki Moyo during the inaugural Township Economies and Rural Economies Summit in Bulawayo on the sidelines of the trade fair. Almost 75% of the Zimbabwean population resides in townships and rural economies, yet this is the most marginalized segment of society.
As you know, our country has come from a transformative history, which has included more opportunities in terms of the cities and workplace, but also business opportunities, and the land reform that has transformed the economy. And largely we have realized that this segment remains largely not understood, but if you look at its ecosystem, is actually the bedrock of the economy.
Highlanders lost an opportunity to extend the gap at the top of the standings after a 2-2 draw against Herentals. The result saw Chicken Inn closing the gap and are now separated by a goal difference on 15 points. The Gamecocks moved to the second place after a 1-0 win over Wange. Elsewhere, FC Platinum suffered their first defeat of the season after losing 1-0 to ZPC Kariba at Mandawa. Kama Billiard and Evans Rusike scored their their first goals for Yada in a 2-2 draw versus champions Ngezi Platinum Stars at the Baobab. In other fixtures, Simba Bora lost 1-0 to Bikita Minerals, while Bulawayo Chiefs and Tewan played to a 1-1 draw.
Konapo, Ipapo pa ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.